life is all about getting to know me a bit better. Because I'm trying to give you loads of information and trying to give you massive value, and sometimes I'll lose actually why this whole thing is what it is. And it's a valuable story, and it's one that will help you reflect on your story and make good of it. So that's what I'm about to do here. So you're obviously on the programmes, you think, yeah, what she does, I really love it, but you maybe don't know why, or you maybe don't know me really. And a lot of my clients do really know me because I have shared a lot of stuff over the last sort of 4 or 5 years on my online programmes. Didn't share a lot myself when I had a gym. I used to have a gym in Dundee called Train, Eat, Sleep, Repeat. Didn't share a lot of my stuff when I was a lecturer at Aberdeen University. Didn't share a lot of myself when I was active schools manager at Dundee City Council. I didn't share a lot of myself when I was active schools coordinator at Dundee City Council. I didn't share a lot of myself at all till this programme, till this online stuff. But it's been massively beneficial for me because it's been like therapy. I've talked about all of my stuff, a lot of it, and I've worked with my clients, which has gave us a connection. Like, it feels like an unbreakable connection. It feels like we're actually bonded for life. I trust them, they trust me. This is my long-standing clients I'm talking about, and some of them might be, they're on here today, that's for sure. But some of my long-standing clients are potentially you. You might stay with me for 3 and 4 years, and some from today. And you'll really get to know me and how I operate, how I function, what I'm like as a person. And I think that's really valuable on a programme like this because I'm giving a lot of who I am to benefit you. So if you understand the story behind it, then you totally get it. And it makes your story become quite apparent, and maybe some adjustments and things that you need to make to actually bring this feel be concept to life, to actually live and feel your very best. So I'll go back to when I used to study at Northumbria University in Newcastle, and I'd done a sport and exercise science degree there. And I graduated by 21. I went down to England because an honours degree was 3 years, and up here it was 4 years. I want to work. I want to get work. I want money. So I done that, and I graduated at 21, and I started working in gyms, and I was gym manager really quickly of 2 commercial gyms at the time. And then I started personal training, and the fact that I'd done really quite well with the personal training, I was getting a name for myself, and I was working with a number of celebrities and normal people and athletes and injured athletes, and got UP referral exercise on prescription qualification also. So things were starting to really pick up, and I was in my early 20s, living away from home, obviously, living the life. Yeah, Freshers Week was a real eye-opener for me. I'll maybe cover that another time with you. But I'd lived a lot of my life before going to uni just training. I was a sprinter. I played National League volleyball. I played county level badminton. Everything I'd done sports-wise was at a level, and that's all I'd done. I just trained. I never hung about the streets, I never went nightclubbing, I never done any of that. Until Freshers Week. And I really found myself in Freshers Week. Do you know what I mean? And then it never really stopped after for a lot of years. But by the time I was early 20s, my dad was a very heavy drinker. There wasn't a day in my life that my dad never ever drank. And it was my dad drank whiskey, so it was the hard stuff. A functioning alcoholic, definitely. And everything that came with it. And so the stress mum, the stress home life, the home life, everything was sacrificed for alcohol, really. And my mum tried really hard to fix that. And so I used to wonder why my mum had this rash. My mum always had rashes on her wrists here, and she used to get steroid cream for it. And she was always at the doctor's for the steroid cream, and sometimes it would die down, sometimes it would really flare up, like really sore, and she'd always be clawing at it. And I realised that was stress. And living in a stress state like that, a child picks up on that. And so that's how my childhood went. I had a happy childhood, don't get me wrong. My mum and dad really loved me. I wasn't abused, I wasn't mistreated, none of that stuff. But there was the alcohol issue. And with alcohol comes bad moods and fights and violence and all that stuff. Not towards me, but so I carried all that through with us into adulthood. And in fact, at the age of 26, I actually lost my dad due to the drinking. And my dad had a massive heart attack, but he'd been diagnosed with atherosclerosis, which was a narrowing of the arteries, or is a narrowing of the artery, because of his lifestyle. So if this is, I always do this with my hand. This is an artery here. It gets smaller and smaller and more restricted or constricted. High blood pressure, for example, will constrict. But the furring up of the arteries caused by alcohol and smoking and vegetable oil, cooking chips in vegetable oil, deep fat fried chips every night if my dad could have it. But my dad wasn't fat, he was slim. He was a very slight man. But internally he was fat, which is called commonly known as skinny fat. But that furring of the arteries caused him to have a massive heart attack, and in fact, that's exactly what happened. And my mum and my partner found him, and my partner was trying to resuscitate him. My mum was trying to rub his feet to bring him back. The ambulance got there and tried the defib a number of times. And that was at the age of 26. And I remember standing above my dad as my partner's trying to revive him. My mum's willing him to come back to life, thinking I could have done more here. Like, I could have had a conversation. But my dad was a man's man, like Dundee, born and bred. You couldn't tell him. Like, he knew. And if he didn't like it, he was even entertaining it. And he had a temperament that was tricky, let's just say. So it wasn't even up for discussion talking to my dad about stopping drinking. I did say things, but I never sat him down and said, Dad, look. And at that time, when I was standing over my dad, willing him back to life, on the phone in the ambulance, I was thinking I could have really done something more. Knowing what I'd known then. I was GP referral qualified by that time. I was immersed in health and fitness and helping people, rehabilitate people that had been through heart attacks and stuff, through a partnership, general practitioners. I could have helped. And at that point I thought, I have to change, or I have to make an impact, and I have to use this. And for about 3 years, I couldn't listen to music. I was so churned up by my dad's death and my dad's passing and everything that came from that. It was powerful. And I used my dad's death as power, really. And that's why I'm sat here in front of you today. I know I could make a difference. I do make a difference. And I know that if you listen to me and you follow my advice and my education and everything that I bring to my programmes, I put my heart and soul into my programmes, I really do. And it's never just, I've done a course or I've run a programme. I've done a business course, I'll start a business, and this, it's not about that for me. This is a passion-led business. This is what this is. And everything that I bring to you is because it's lived experience. I've backed it up with a qualification, definitely, but it's not what this is. This is not just a business for business sake. I just don't want to start my own business and be a life coach. This is deep in my heart. So you need to know that's really important. Anybody could start a business. Anybody could start an online business. But when it is lived experience and it's passion-led, it feels different. Because it is different. So that's why I'm sat in front of you. I don't want your children to live through you drinking to the point that it compromises the life that your kids have. And they're walking on eggshells and they're scared and their teeth are bumping together with nerves. I don't want that for your children. I want you to be your role model for your children. And if I can help you do it, that's what I'm here for. You need to use me. All day, every day, use me up. But I also want you to claim back what's yours, and that's your health. Take your health into your own hands. The government aren't looking after you. Nobody's going to look after you. Doctors, nurses, they're not looking after you. Not because they don't want to, but because they don't know how to. And they're getting pressure, financial pressure, when you prescribe statins, for example, and other medications. There's financial incentives there that is clouding the picture. It's time to take your health into your own hands now, and I'm helping you do that. That's why Feel Look Be is so powerful. I'm actually giving you the tools and the information in baby steps, taking your hand, jumping in, putting in giveaways for you, jumping on morning lives to give you a challenge, to keep you focused enough to be invested in taking your life back into your own hands. And it does work. When you show up, it works like nothing else, and you rave about it and you love it, and you live the best life. But I've used my story for good. See what I've done? Devastation caused me to create a different story, to create a different path for myself, and think I can make a difference here, and so I will. And when I was active schools, I worked in schools and I felt passionate about what the experience that children got. If I was walking up a corridor, I would get down on my knee and look at a child in the eye and have a conversation with them and let them feel my energy and tower over them and talk down to them. I used that for good. All of that shit that happened to me actually happened for me, and I've used it. And it's time to use your story, no matter how painful your story is, and I'm sure it is. I'm sure you've been through the worst times. It's time to spin it. It's time to stop being a victim, to stop feeling sorry for yourself, to stop saying that was because of that, so I'll just sit here because that happened. It's time to spin that. And see, when you do spin it, the power that comes from it, there'll be wee bits of shrapnel and fire coming off it. That's what will happen. It's so powerful, and you'll feel it. You could almost hold it in your hand. It's so powerful. And there's nothing that can stop you at that point propelling forward, getting to your next right move, whatever that may be, whatever it looks like, you will get there. And it's all about using your story for good. Spin the shit out of it. The alcohol, that was terrible. The fights, that was awful. But I've learned what I don't want for my own son. What I create for myself is everything that I didn't want. What he's got is me bringing into action all of that bad stuff and changing and manipulating the shit out of it to make it good. Learn from it. Grow from it. Definitely cry from it. But use it for good and let it drive you forward. Use your story for good. If it means revisiting what your story was, that might be painful for you. It's painful for me too. I had to do it. And I'm regularly revisiting now, and it's not as painful as it used to be. And wee things and wee tabs open in my mind, like, tweak that, could change that. And I've done that for years now. And it's why I'm sat in front of you today. And it's why I'll keep going and keep creating from here on in. I've used my story for good, and it's powerful. When you use your story, it will be the most powerful thing you could ever do. And you will make the next right move for you. You sit in it, you stay in it, you stay in victim mode, you make excuses. You constantly make excuses, that doesn't work for me, I'm overweight, I can't do that, I can't cook, I've not got the time. You constantly make excuses and self-soothe, and you'll stay stuck forevermore. I'm with you. We're together on this journey. I'm constantly upgrading me, and you need to constantly upgrade you, but you must use your story for good. Don't sit back and stay stuck anymore. It's time to use it and spin it. That was shit, but I'll tell you what, I've learnt a hell of a lot from it, and I'm never going back there. I'm going there. Use it. Okay? Hope you understand a wee bit more now. Have a great day. Be your best self.